So you mentioned, Alex, that he doesn't live at home. So how did he come to leave home?
Well, that's a rather complicated story, really, but in some ways it was his choice. I've got a daughter who makes films and stuff like that, and one of her films won a film competition when the prize was to go to the Sundance Film Festival in Utah in the United States. So I went along to carry the bags and sort of sign the contracts. Not that there's a whole lot of that going on, really. But I was away for about 5 weeks, which I've never been away for 5 weeks before from Dan. And Dan was still living at home, and one of his assistants came and stayed with Dan overnight. And when I got back, Dan sort of said, well, what are you doing here? I'm having a good time. Why don't you go away? And so I decided that, well, maybe this was the time for Dan to move out, because we'd always talked about Dan living in a flat of his own, and he was pretty keen about actually doing that, but how actually making that real was we hadn't really quite worked out what to do. But anyway, I started looking around for a Dan-friendly sort of house that was that I could afford, and but it was sort of near the essential things that are dear to Dan's heart, like newsagents and things like that. And eventually I found one, and Dan moved in. And I wasn't quite sure how I was going to afford to do all of this, because I didn't really have enough money to support Dan overnight, or have someone with Dan overnight. But anyway, if you don't sort of start off, you never quite work out how to get things actually to happen. And so quite early on in the piece, there was no one to stay overnight with Dan, except me, because they were all doing something or other else. And so, but Dan didn't want me to stay, because he lived in this house and I lived in that other house, and I should go there and he should stay here. And he got quite cranky about all that. And so after a while I did a deal with him whereby if he went to bed and stayed there, I'd go home and someone would come back in the morning. And so he did, and I did. And everything went okay. I did a few drive-bys in the night just to make sure everything was going fine, but everything was going fine, and it's been going fine ever since. So I guess the message was really that even though the money seemed to be an issue, in the end it wasn't, because I didn't really have to. Dan was okay on his own overnight, and no one ever would have predicted that was possible at that particular stage in his life. But unless you take the odd risk with a few safeguards in place, I guess, you won't know quite how far things can go, and lots of good things can happen from all of that.